Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have been working on this video on and off for a few months now. I was inspired to make this video by one of my favorite YouTube creators, Chojimi. Every time he releases a video, especially about Twice, I always feel like he's reaching into my mind and putting my thoughts into a coherent narrative that's almost poetic. Every video feels like a deep dive or a masterclass in the study of K-pop. If you haven't checked out his channel, I would definitely check it out. I'll put a link to his channel in the video description. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be ranking all of Twice's title tracks in the style of Chojimi. For today, I'm just going to be focusing on their Korean title tracks as well as sprinkling in their English singles. I hope to make this an ongoing series, so in the future I'll do videos for their Japanese discography as well as their B-sides. I am always down to talk about Twice, so please let me know how you would rank Twice's title tracks. I love a discussion about Twice, so feel free to start one in the comments. I could and would talk for hours about Twice, but at the risk of rambling, I have tried to keep everything as short and sweet as I can. Anyway, please enjoy me trying to put my endless Twice brain rot into coherent thoughts. I have nothing against The Best Thing I Ever Did. The only reason that it's last on my list is because it isn't a performance song. When I listen to a K-pop song, I think about the music video, the dance, and the performances. Since The Best Thing I Ever Did doesn't have choreography or performances, I just don't really have a strong connection to this song. I'll be honest and say that although Merry and Happy is the literal title track, I never considered it to be a title track since the lead song they promoted off this album was Heartshaker. I didn't even realize until I started doing research for this video that this song has choreography and music show performances. Because it is a holiday-specific song, I tend not to listen to it very frequently, so it kind of automatically ends up near the bottom of the list, but it is very much a part of my holiday playlist. I'm probably going to say this many times during this video, but there is no such thing as a bad Twice title track. It just doesn't exist. One Spark was my #1 listened to song on Spotify for 2024. So when I say that I love all of Twice's title tracks, I literally mean it. One Spark is genuinely a good song. When they say, "Bring me the spark in my veins," they are literally injecting the song into my veins. The best part of the song is Jihyo's section in the final chorus. I get down to that part. But One Spark feels like a song that could have been given to any other group, and doesn't feel specific to Twice. Like I said, I love all of Twice's title tracks, including One Spark. But for me, One Spark lacks that something special and feels a bit generic. Has everyone gotten emotional listening to the instrumental for this song? No? Just me? Right. Okay, cool. I didn't even listen to K-pop when this song came out, and yet somehow this song feels nostalgic to me. It's maybe a little repetitive, but other than that, it's very sweet and super catchy. This is peak Weird Twice at its finest. Signal gets a lot of unnecessary hate, and I admit that I wasn't exactly sure what I was listening to when I first heard this song. Signal is kind of like that one friend who is kind of weird, but in the end you realize that all of their quirks and eccentricities are the reason you love them. The song is fun, and who doesn't like fun? Dare I say it's camp? I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this is gonna sound so crazy, but I cried after Scientist was released. Scientist just did not do it for me for a long time. I remember feeling very underwhelmed and let down by Scientist upon first listen. Their trajectory before Scientist was taking them away from cute concepts, so I personally was not prepared for the return of a cute concept. But I think my biggest issue with Scientist is the chorus. The verses all do a really good job of building up to the chorus, so you would expect the chorus to be even bigger. But the chorus almost drops the momentum that the verses build. For me, Scientist is one of the weakest, if not the weakest song on the album. It really speaks to both the strength of Formula of Love as an album that the title track gets overshadowed by the B-sides. An album this good deserved a title track that was just as strong as its B-sides. However, as time has gone by, I realized that I may have misjudged Scientist. The song has a lot of really good elements, specifically Momo's section during the bridge. It has definitely grown on me with time. As you can see, it's still not at the top of my list, but I have come to appreciate the song for what it is. Dance the Night Away is the epitome of a feel-good summer song. The song makes you want to do exactly what the title says. I will forever have the memory ingrained in my head of the confetti launching while Twice performed Dance the Night Away during their world tour. If only I could relive that moment. It's a song where I don't really have a good reason as to why it's lower in my ranking, other than I just don't listen to it as much as some of their other songs. Is Sana gay? The age-old question that we may never get the answer to, but also already have the answer to. I really didn't know where to put this song in the ranking. I'm not sure why, but I often skip this song when it comes up. I don't know why I sleep on this song so often. It is actually addicting. Hey boy, I'm gonna make this simple for you. One of the most iconic intros in K-pop history. Some might argue that this is the first song where Twice started their evolution into their more mature sound. Once again, I really don't have a good reason for why this song is lower in my ranking. It's another song that I just don't repeatedly listen to, but the breakdown in the bridge leading into the final chorus gets me hype every time. Shy, shy, shy. The three words that built JYP Entertainment and shook a nation. I think some of the lyrics may not have aged as well. The lyrics about loving someone like a real man are a little triggering for me as someone who identifies as a queer male and knows all too well what it's like to be held up to societal pressures of masculinity. As someone who believes that gender is a construct, I like to believe that Twice's definition of a real man is all-inclusive. But that's a thought for another day. The impact that this song had on Twice's career does not escape me. So many groups have covered this song, it may as well be the national anthem. Y'all, this song makes me blush. Like, this is an R-rated song. Although they never actually say it, I think the lyrics leave very little to the imagination in terms of what this song is about. This was the first song that Twice released under their new contract, and they definitely used it to make a statement about where their music was heading. This song gave us, in my opinion, some iconic lyrics, such as, I don't really know how to talk right now, it's I need you a clock right now, as well as all of Chang's rap lines, loving undefeated, on your knees pleading, got a craving, baby, can you feed it? Those are some spicy lyrics. If I had to give a reason for where it's placed in my ranking, I would say the song is ever so slightly repetitive. I will never understand the hate that Set Me Free gets. As soon as they released the first snippet of this song, I knew I was going to love it. Other than giving us one of Twice's weaker rap sections, this song gave me everything I wanted. It kind of fulfilled the need I had for Twice to do a darker, edgier song, since Cry For Me was the last darker concept song they had done. I love the idea of Twice directing and starring in a movie about themselves. Cinema at its finest. Twice was using Set Me Free to really push the boundaries of what people think they could do as a group. This was Twice's first comeback as a group since they renewed their contracts, and I think they wanted to make a bold statement about where they wanted their career as a group to go. And in my opinion, it was only forward. Momo Dance Break. That's all. Just kidding. It's really interesting to look back on this song given that it's so different in concept from what they ultimately ended up being known for. I don't have too much to say about the song itself, but it really makes me think about how lucky we are that these 9 hopeful trainees from 16 ended up being the 9 members chosen for Twice. And now almost 10 years later, Twice is still going strong. I remember it took me a second to adjust to Alcohol Free. Twice had been building so much momentum telling this dark, edgy story that spanned from More and More through I Can't Stop Me and into Cry For Me. I was so surprised when JYP just dropped the whole storyline abruptly with Alcohol Free. It felt as if I was going to be left on a cliffhanger forever and never get to know what the end of the story is, which in a way is exactly what they did. And so because of that, I came into Alcohol Free era already feeling a little betrayed. However, when the music video came out, I was so dazzled by the bossa nova inspired sound and the summery visuals that this feeling didn't last too long. Similar to Dance the Night Away, Alcohol Free is a perfect summer song. As soon as I hear this song, I am immediately transported to a tropical island with a piña colada in hand. It's a great example of how Twice cannot be simplified as only being known for cute concepts, when they have shown us time and time again how willing they are to explore other sounds and musical stylings. It also has one of my favorite Twice rap sections. Alcohol Free brings the fun, catchy, and infectious feeling that Twice is known for, with a sound that Twice had never done before. I Got You really is the sequel to Feel Special. It's the only song other than Feel Special that centers itself around the love and friendship that the members share for each other. In an interview, Twice talked about how they almost chose I Got You as the title track for With Youth, but ultimately decided to go with One Spark instead. In my opinion, I Got You would have been the perfect title track for With Youth. I think it fits the overall sound and concept of With Youth better than One Spark. I Got You gave us a sound that we really hadn't heard from Twice, and it is also just a beautiful song that continues to illustrate how deep their love is for each other. To this day, I am still patiently waiting for Twice to release full choreography for this song. Just thinking about all that Twice has been through together and the bond they shared gets me emotional. Twice has got me for life. Strategy is everything I could ever want out of a Twice song and more. The and more part being Megan Thee Stallion, of course. The combination of Twice and Megan Thee Stallion is so unexpected, and yet it works so well. I would argue it's one of the best collabs between a K-pop group and a Western artist. As soon as Megan says, left, right, do it to the beat, my hips are moving. As soon as I hear the cowbell during Chaeyoung's solo in the bridge, I am respectfully shaking ass. If there was ever any question as to whether Twice has passed the peak of their career already, I believe that this song ends that discussion. The second I hear the intro to this song, it's an instant dopamine rush. What Is Love is a song that could and probably should be higher up on my list. Every K-pop fan knows and loves this song. I would argue that What Is Love is Twice's best music video. The Princess Diaries, Romeo and Juliet, Pulp Fiction, Dahyun with a potted plant and sunglasses. It is just so much fun to see the members dressed as and embodying all of these iconic film characters. I think everyone at some point has wanted to feel like their life was a movie. It perfectly captures that feeling of being younger, watching these amazing love stories, and wishing your life could be just like that. I have to admit, I did not understand Likey when I first heard it. At the time, I felt like the song was so repetitive, but what I didn't realize is, like many of Twice's songs, the catchiness of the song hides lyrics that express complex inner thoughts. I have learned to forgive my past self for my shortcomings. I had not yet seen the light, and I have since seen the light. Likey has quickly grown to be one of my favorite songs from Twice's cute concept days. The bridge makes me ascend into the heavens, the rap section is arguably Twice's best rap section, and Momo's dance break? Iconic. If there is one thing that I have learned from Twice's cuter concept days, it's that sometimes a song is just good, and there doesn't have to be a reason or an explanation. Likey is just a good song. I honestly feel like the world stopped when Twice debuted Cry For Me at the Mama Awards. Cry For Me is definitely the darkest and edgiest that Twice has gone in their discography. It will always feel like a crime that Cry For Me wasn't promoted as a title track, but I'm just grateful that the Twice members believed in this song enough to fight for it and share it with us as a gift. I don't think that JYP realized just how popular Cry For Me was going to be, and it was such a missed opportunity. I loved the story that they were telling from More and More into I Can't Stop Me, and Cry For Me is the perfect continuation of that storyline. I love the idea that the events from one song and music video led to the next song, almost creating a Twice cinematic universe, and I was so excited to see where the story was going to take us next. Cry For Me would have been the perfect follow-up title track to I Can't Stop Me, and it would have been cool to see Twice really lean into this dark, edgy concept for a full album. I would love to see Twice explore this kind of a concept again in the future. I have, and always will be, the fiercest More and More defender. Some of this comes from my own personal bias because this was the first Twice comeback that I got to experience in real time. I really do credit Twice, and specifically More and More, for getting me through some of the hardest times of the COVID-19 pandemic. When I had nothing else to look forward to or to bring me joy, I at least had Twice's More and More promotions to look forward to. More and More tends to end up at the bottom of the ranking for most longtime onces. As someone who was just a baby once at the time, I didn't realize that More and More was such a shift from their usual sound. So when I heard More and More, all I heard was a bop. I love the ethereal visuals and the magical instrumentals, and the choreography for this song is my favorite of all Twice choreo. The only thing that I would hold against this era is that it led to my sweet Jungyeon sustaining an injury that would take her a long time to recover from. But other than that, this song is a bop and y'all can't tell me otherwise. The Feels was the perfect song for Twice to debut as their first English single. It was Twice's way of making their mark on the global music market, stating that they were now setting their sights on success outside of just the Korean and Japanese music markets. Whereas some K-pop groups may have changed their sound to pander to a more global audience, Twice did not fall into that trap. The Feels embraces Twice's signature sound while also leaning into their more mature sound. Setting the song at a high school prom was an odd choice, given that at the time their youngest member is 22 years old, but I can look past that. It's a flirty, joyous song. It's also the song that my fiancé used to propose to me, so I have to admit, I'm a little biased. This is the song that started it all for me, and I think it's the song that started a lot of people's love for Twice. It is undeniable the impact that this song had on Twice's career, as well as the cultural impact it had. I had no idea who Twice was until I stumbled upon a YouTube video of Twice performing TT, and I was absolutely mesmerized by what I was seeing. If I'm being fully honest, I think my very first reaction was, what am I watching? This song is so weird and yet I love it. It was unbelievably catchy and ridiculously charming. TT is the infectious bubblegum pop that Twice became famous for. This song is absolutely addicting. It is an all-around amazing song that keeps you wanting more. TT is the song that made me fall in love with Twice, and I have never looked back. I think if I were doing an unbiased ranking of Twice's songs, Fancy would probably end up being number 1, if not within the top 3. Every K-pop fan knows and loves this song. I always feel jealous of the onces who were around to experience when Fancy came out. Although I hadn't discovered the world of K-pop when Fancy came out, I have been told through lore and legend that the world did in fact stop when Twice debuted Fancy. The impact of this song should be studied. Fancy is the song that declared Twice's transition from cute concepts into mature concepts. I have heard so many times from other K-pop fans that if they had to choose one K-pop group to represent the genre of K-pop, it would be Twice. And if asked to choose a song, Fancy is often the song that accompanies this thought. Fancy really is that girl. I cannot get enough of this song. The retro synthy 80s sound mixed with what I believe to be some of Twice's best choreography makes for an insanely good song. Momo bobbed her bob harder than any bob has ever bobbed. Chaeyoung risky wiggy wiggied for us. Nayeon and Jihyo screlting while Junghyun sings the climactic final chorus. They did all of that for us. The way this song builds and never stops building almost gives you no other choice than to board the train with Twice, going to what appears to be their demise. But even with that knowledge, I would still get on that train with Twice. If there was anyone to pull a Thelma and Louise with, it would be Twice. I will never forgive y'all for sleeping on this song. I think I could probably make a whole video just about Talk That Talk, but Cho Jimi already did that, so go watch his video. I'll just briefly set the scene. Because Twice's activities are planned so far in advance, Talk That Talk was written and conceived as if it could have been Twice's last song. Their 7-year contract was ending, and the members were deciding individually if they wanted to renew their contracts. Neither the members nor JYP knew whether or not this was going to be their last comeback as a group. Luckily for us, all the members renewed their contracts, and what could have been their swan song became a victory lap. Talk That Talk is not only a perfect song, it is a perfect song for Twice. It is, in my opinion, one of the crown jewels of Twice's discography. It embraces and even celebrates everything that made South Korea, Japan, and eventually the rest of the world fall in love with Twice, but at the same time, push the group forward in both sound and concept. It's a perfect example of how Twice has continued to grow along with their fan base. To this day, Twice continues to release music that pushes the boundaries of what people expect from them. It's everything you could ever want out of a Twice song. As soon as I hear the intro to this song, I immediately feel joy. I think we all knew before I even started my ranking where this song was going to land. Of course, the Twice song that gave me the name of my online persona had to be number 1. Play this song at my funeral. I never thought a song could make me want to cry while simultaneously making me want to shake ass at the same time. And yet, this song does that. Dahyun's rap, the iconic bridge and dance break, there is just so much that makes this song deeply, deeply beautiful. I think what I connect with is the way that Twice explores the idea of love in this song. A central theme around all of Twice's songs is love. What is love? How can I express my love? How can I make someone fall in love with me? These are the questions that most Twice title tracks grapple with. Questions around romantic love. Although Feel Special can be viewed as a romantic song, the song really is about Twice's love for each other. JYP wrote this song specifically for Twice after seeing the way that the members supported each other in times of hardship. This, I think of all Twice songs, really tells the story of Twice. It tells the story of the real bond and true friendship that the members have with each other. The members often name Feel Special as their favorite Twice song. It clearly means a lot to them, probably more than we'll ever know, because only they know the hardships that they have overcome together. I'm not sure if I have accurately put into words how important this song is to me. Feel Special will always be my number 1. In conclusion, TWICE's discography is flawless. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching, and please let me know your thoughts on TWICE's discography in the comments. And thank you to Chojimi for inspiring me to make this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!